Hey guys, how's it going? Mr. Mitchell here. In this video we're going to go over one worked example to show you how to do problems involving cyclotrons as our second application of fields. Now if you haven't already done so, check out my previous video covering the theory on this topic, and that way you can apply what you learned in that video to this one. So let's get into it. In our one and only example here, it says proton beam therapy is a medical treatment. Protons are accelerated to specific velocities using a cyclotron. A cyclotron is a particle accelerator that consists of two D-shaped hollow structures called Ds placed in a vacuum. The Ds are separated by a gap as shown below. So we've got our left and right Ds here, and our protons are starting at point X. There's also a high voltage AC supply between the two Ds. It then goes on to say that during testing, protons are introduced to the cyclotron at point X. The protons are accelerated from rest across the gap by an electric field. Inside the Ds there is a uniform magnetic field B. This field acts on the protons, causing them to move in semicircular paths within the Ds. Part A says to determine the direction of the magnetic field B. Well, if we go back to the picture here, we want to use the right hand rule to work out what the direction of the magnetic field is. And remember, that's going to be given by the first finger or your index finger. And remember, your thumb represents the direction of the force, and your middle finger, your second finger, represents the direction that the particles are moving to begin with. So it's velocity or current direction. So in order to find the direction of the magnetic field, we want to choose a point on the path here and work out what's going on for it. So let's say we pick a point just before Y, which is going to have a force moving upwards towards the top of the page or screen. And that means that you would have your thumb pointing towards the top of the page or screen in order for this to make sense. However, remember, we're dealing with positively charged particles here, protons, so we want to flip the direction of the force here. So instead of the force being up towards the top of the page using a right hand, it should be towards the bottom of the page or screen. So if you take your right hand with your thumb pointing downwards, your middle or second finger pointing to the right, then your first finger points into the page or screen. So we can say that using the right hand rule, the magnetic field direction is into the page. B part 1 says, by considering the forces acting on a proton as it moves in a semicircular path, show that its speed at point Y is V equals QBr over m, where the symbols have their usual meaning. Well, we can start by saying that the magnetic force provides a centripetal force, and that means we can equate the two equations for magnetic force and centripetal force in terms of the linear velocity v. So we have QVB for the magnetic force equals mv squared over r for the centripetal force. And then because we've got a v on this side and a v on this side, we can cancel a v from both sides to get QB equals mv over r, and then rearranging for v, we can multiply both sides by r and divide both sides by m, so we get v equals QBr over m. B part 2 says the magnetic induction is 0.714 Tesla. The radius of the semicircular path at Y is 0.105 meters. Calculate the speed of a proton at point Y. Well, writing down what we know from the question, we can use the equation we've just derived. So we're trying to find the speed of the proton V. We know the charge on a proton Q is 1.6 times 10 to the minus 19 coulombs. And remember, that's just the same as the charge on an electron but positive. We then have magnetic induction B is 0.714 Tesla. We have the radius R is 0.105 meters. And the mass m of the proton is 1.673 times 10 to the minus 27 kilograms from the datasheet. So writing down our equation we derived in part 1, we have v equals QBr over m. Substituting in the numbers gives 1.6 times 10 to the minus 19 times 0.714 times 0.105 divided by 1.673 times 10 to the minus 27, and putting that into your calculator should give you an answer of 7.17 times 10 to the 6 meters per second. Lastly, part C says explain why an AC supply must be used to provide the electric field. Well, we can say this is because the direction of the electrical force acting on the proton must change every time the proton crosses the gap. That's all for this video, folks. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.